non-stop. Welcome to our channel Happy Bellyfish, and today I'm going to talk about something that troubles most of you. We all have leftover pieces of bread, actually blocks of bread that we sometimes forget, and then it turns into a brick. Well, if it turns into a brick and you cannot do anything about it, then you can use it as a weapon, because that's the only purpose it can be used for. But if you still have bread that is soft enough, that's kind of leftover, you might like the recipe so much, what we're going to make now, that you might even use fresh bread for it. Now, I have this problem at home all the time. Anastasia, the other chef from Happy Bellyfish, she makes this sourdough bread at all times at home, and we often end up more bread than we need. Kind of results of experiments at home. So what I do then is I need to make things interesting. Like, I can't just eat bread with some butter on it or some dip. I need something more. So I try to make something complicated, but in an easy way. But if you want too much bread in your house so that you can make this, then you can definitely check out the sourdough bread course at happybellyfish.com. Let's move on now. What I have done to make it quick, because many people complain I talk so much, I've just broken or cut this bread into smaller pieces. And this is not for bird feed, by the way. This is for me feed. You shouldn't feed birds bread. That's not good for them. And then we have these ingredients here. Most of them are veggies. Something that's kind of taking you back to nursery classes. This is red capsicum or paprika. This is carrot. I've just sliced them differently so that the dish looks more interesting. And then these are onions that I have just chopped them coarsely, very large blocks of them. And some tomato, finely chopped so that it blends in like a sauce. And you have here garlic and you have ginger. So that's the end of your nursery class introduction to vegetables. And what else do we need now? We need some oil. I'm using some olive oil for it. We'll use some salt, and these are not shot glasses with alcohol in them. This is not vodka, or this is not rum. This is just vinegar, white vinegar. You can use any other vinegar if you want. And this is soya sauce and some freshly chopped coriander. Now we're going to make what here exactly? We're going to stir fry bread with all these vegetables and oil and flavor them with vinegar, soya sauce. So let's start making something interesting out of this poor bread. The biggest piece of equipment that you need here is, apart from you, a nice pan. And to that we'll add some oil. The pan is heating already, so the oil is heating up very quickly too as soon as we add it. And then we'll add the ingredients. Not all of them, of course, but the ones that are on the harder side. And usually when you make something that's fried rice or anything like that, then you obviously start with onion, ginger and garlic. And also the carrots, because these are also pretty hard, and then they will mellow a little bit when it has cooked for some time. We'll cook it until the onion softens. And when it softens, I mean it will become a little transparent or translucent, to be precise. So it will take about 3 to 4 minutes, and then we can add the rest of the ingredients and start cooking. Now, which rest of the ingredients? We'll see step by step, one step at a time. And now we will add red paprika, capsicum, whatever you call it. You can add even green ones, yellow ones. But the best taste comes either from the green or the red ones. The yellow ones are too sweet. And then we'll cook it for about another 3 minutes. We don't want the paprika to become too soft and mushy. And then we'll add tomato at the end. Now, this is a recipe from leftover bread. Like I said, this is one of the ways you can avoid throwing away the good bread. Because you are going to cook it, you can also sprinkle some water if the bread is on a harder side, and that will make it a little softer. You're also adding vinegar, you're adding soya sauce. So in a way, the bread kind of becomes softer, more enjoyable to eat. So I'm known as a king of leftover. I make good out of everything that's left over at home, be it vegetables, be it bread, rice, or any other thing that is there. I wouldn't let it go to waste. So make sure you also check some other videos where we have this whole series about zero waste cooking. Don't forget to do that. And now we'll add some tomatoes and we'll cook it until it becomes slightly pulpy. If you have a ketchup at home, a nice one, not the ones with chemicals, then you can also add that instead of tomatoes. It will also give some nice taste and flavor to it. So I've taken about 2 medium-sized tomatoes, chopped them finely or coarsely, and we'll cook it for some time until tomato becomes slightly pulpy. I'll also add some salt, about half a teaspoon. If you want, you can add more depending on your taste, but because I'm adding some vinegar and soy sauce, it will kind of become too salty. So make sure you are very careful here. Don't end up adding too much salt at the beginning. That's something you can always add at the end if it's lacking. And now is the time when we will add some bread. I mean, whatever the leftover bread that we have. And I've sliced them into smaller pieces. That makes it more enjoyable. Then it mixes well with the rest of the ingredients. And we'll use this opportunity to also add the soy sauce and some vinegar. And we'll mix them super nicely. Like, make sure that everything is spread out nicely, evenly. And it's a very simple recipe. It's nothing fancy, simple leftover bread with some vegetables, stir-fried, made into a nice bread chow mein. And what's a chow mein exactly? Well, it's like fried noodles. Well, at least what we hear in India is that chow mein is always this fried noodles. And you can see that the tomato that we added, the juice of it is making the bread a little soggy. So when your bread turns a little harder, don't think it's gone waste or you have to throw it away. No, you can do a lot of things with it. You can even make bread kvass. Now, what is kvass? So many questions here. So that is Anastasia's department. Make sure you check out her videos. She makes pretty interesting things. Most of the things that you might think that's not possible to do it at home at all. One of them is actually sourdough bread, especially for those people who look for sourdough bread but they cannot find it in the market easily or a good quality one. This is the opportunity for you to actually start learning to do it by yourself. Anyway, let's finish this dish, and when we cook it for about few more minutes, we'll let the moisture dry out a bit, then we'll garnish it with some fresh coriander. Well, we have cooked it for about 3 to 4 minutes more. We don't want it to become completely soggy, so this dish is best served hot. Remember that, okay? Don't make it in the morning for breakfast and have it for lunch. And now we'll add some fresh greens here. I'm adding coriander, gives it this nice sharp taste to it, and also gives it a nice aroma, nice smell to the dish. I'm already hungry. And that's it. And in a way, you can give a second life to the bread that you would have otherwise thrown away. Ta-da-da! It's not like a party snack. Remember that, okay? It looks nice, but if you're gonna make it and make it really soggy, I'm not sure what people are gonna make out of it. But it's something that you can have for breakfast or lunch, for yourself and for friends that you have invited. Let me make you some nice, fresh bread chow mein and let them ask you, what's chow mein now? Can't stop. Can't stop even now. I think I was hungry.